All right, welcome everyone. 4-Stroke Freedom channel here with you today. You can see my 2022 Kawasaki KLR650 behind me, and just another update about the trip I took out to West Texas. Yeah, you can see I'm not wearing my signature baseball cap today as well. Decided it's quite a nice day. I think it's in the high 70s down here. Just brilliant, beautiful temperature. Anyways, I wanted to go over some of the things I learned on my trip. This is my first long solo trip I've ever taken, and actually the first long motorcycle trip I've taken in the United States since I've been back here. And of course, I have some things I want to ask you guys as well. I want to, really, since I'm not the most experienced, I want to really pool all of our experience collectively together, especially those of you that are adventure bike or KLR owners, and you can give me some ideas for what I might do next with my bike. All right, so right to it. So you probably have a lot of questions. I did around 1,400 miles round trip out to West Texas and back down here to South Texas. So a few questions. How did it do on petrol or gas? And how did it do at the higher highway speeds for prolonged periods of time? And before I do that, I want to just tell you first, I did a slight modification before I decided to go out on the road with the bike. I saw some other YouTubers and KLR people remove the airbox snorkel. It's a really easy job. And I did notice quite a bit more mid-range power after I took that out. So if you want to have a listen, I'll go ahead and start up the bike here. I think it does sound a bit different. You can hear the intake a bit more, maybe a bit more aggressive. So I'll go ahead and start it up here. So with the airbox snorkel removed, I ended up getting probably around, depending on how strong the wind was and the crosswinds, anywhere from 40 to around 52 miles per gallon, what I calculated. Not fantastic, but fairly decent considering at that time I was probably going with the speed limits. KLR isn't, I don't really speed, and KLR isn't really a bike you would want to on anyways, but going from anywhere 70 to 85 miles an hour, depending on the speed limits. So I would say average was probably around 48 miles per gallon, going at a pretty fast clip. 70 to 80 miles an hour, up to 85 depending on the speed limits. Really quite a decent clip. So the next thing I wanted to ask you guys about, and we'll take a look here, we have the stock Dunlop tires, right? The K750s. So if you saw my bike loaded up in previous videos, I had quite a big load on the back, but I did adjust the preload, the damping I kept, but you'll notice that my tire there's definitely that nice center strip from going with that heavier load at for such a long distance for such a long time, and really not being able to take many corners at all. Now I have about 3,000 miles on the bike, and maybe these are, I would say, probably a 70-30 tire. You can correct me if I'm wrong there in the comments, but that would be my impression of them, riding them on the sand, a little bit of mud here and there. So I'd really just like to know what you guys recommend for tires. Now for value and performance, I heard Shinko tires are quite good, but I was actually happy with the performance of the stock Dunlop tires. I'm just not all that impressed with the tread wear, but it's to be expected with a bit more aggressive tread like this. Now, it might sound strange, but I even thought about just buying different sets of tires. Like, for example, because a lot of the time, actually, I find locally, I'm commuting or on the motorway or highway with my bike. I thought about getting a set of, like I had on my Versys 650 back in Thailand, Pirelli Scorpion Trail 2 tires. I believe they do make them in these sizes. I'm not quite sure on that, but that would be kind of a fun tire, that 90-10 type tire. Really, maybe like a 95-5 tire from my experience. But yeah, just let me know, what do you guys recommend for tires? And I'd definitely be looking for something of value. If I weren't, I'd probably be looking at those Michelin Anarchy Adventures. I did run them on a Versys X300 for a while, and they were really awesome tires, and they wear really well. Anyways, that really concludes what I found. It's really quite a fun bike in a lot of ways. I mean, you wouldn't really think it, but it does a lot of things, not well, but it does a good job.